Hello and welcome to another MCO market update on Bitcoin. Here on the Bitcoin chart, we are tracking an ending diagonal to the upside from the August low. Let me zoom in a little bit. This is the pattern, the main pattern here on the chart from the August low, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and ideally we get another high in wave 5. This is the short-term bullish case. This is the case for one more high. I have to remind everybody, now that most of you will be in profit if you entered in the support area down there, it is seen as the last stage in this bull market. At least that is my perspective. So, you have to do what's right for you and your portfolio. But I just want to remind everybody that what we're talking about here in this fifth wave to the upside, in the white scenario, this one, this is for me the last phase in this cycle. And this would be the ideal pathway, right? To maybe 130K plus. So a lot of that rally is already done now. The price already moved up from the 7th of April low and rallied like 28%. So to get to 130K, which will be the next main FIB level in all-time high territory, we talk about another 40%. And that might be it. That might be it. I'm not saying this is the maximum. And I'm not saying we have to get there. This would be ideal. The we have to get there phase has already happened. Because the top in January marks already a potential fifth wave up. So we could say, potentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It fulfilled all requirements for a completed move, which means not only 5 waves from the August low are complete, no, also 5 waves from the 2022 low are completed, and therefore the minimum requirements, I'm saying that especially for everybody who's new or is just, watching the videos here and there, sometimes less regularly, because everybody who's watching them regularly knows about this already, right? But the minimum requirements for this entire move to the upside are fulfilled. It's important to double down on that now that we're entering the resistance area, because this is the area where the red B wave could form a top. And that's the bearish count. But from a bullish point of view, 130K in my view, absolutely realistic. If I watch, if I see the altcoins perform how they're performing right now, it does add up kind of and suggests that we could see that one more rally also on many altcoin charts. For some, it might not mean an all-time high. For some, it might be an all-time high, but overall, there could still be some further upside. Now, of course, we had now a wild rally across the sector, so a pullback might happen across the board, but overall, I just want to highlight and remind everybody that we are in resistance now. Yeah, we are in a key resistance area, which started at the 61.8 retracement. The move up is only in 3 waves so far, so we don't have a solid base yet. Okay, we don't have a 5-wave move up followed by a 3-wave pullback yet. No, we have a 3-wave move up, which is always indicating, okay, the structure is still quite fragile. And also the risk is that the entire bull market already finished. So all of that is important. So how can we distinguish the two scenarios? So it was easy until now, because when we were in that support area here in April and March, even in February, and honestly the price has really slowed down the downtrend in that support area. But it was, let's say, fairly easy. The idea was that the market could be turning around at any point, and in both the red and white scenario, further upside was actually expected. Okay, and it was expected for the price to get to that to that red resistance area, and then to, well, potentially give us further clues if it's the red or the white scenario in that resistance area. Until now, it didn't really matter, would it be the red scenario, would it be the white count? And now, for me, as an analyst, it becomes a difficult phase, because now we have to really distinguish between the two. Before, we didn't really have to distinguish between the red and the white scenarios. Now, in the red scenario, the market would finish the rally after a 3-wave move. And if we then see any 5-wave move down, maybe even a break below the April low, that would be a strong signal that, yeah, a much larger correction has started, potentially even a bear market. In the bullish scenario, we would like to see actually a 5-wave move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you see the detailed count on the smaller time frame. And then from there, a corrective pullback in what could be the white B wave. So this is what the bullish pathway would look like. And this B wave, I mean, is it guaranteed? No, nothing is ever guaranteed, but there should be a pullback. Okay, I'm always talking about what would be ideal. So I'm never talking about, what has to happen, because nothing ever has to happen. So there are never certainties, right? It's all about probabilities. I talked to a few people in the last few days who said, look, I mean, I didn't get positioned. Does a pullback, sometimes never happen? And do we have to get a pullback and things like that? And my answer is usually, right, I only show ideal pathways. So I also tell you usually when a pullback is expected. So we need to get certain levels broken to the downside, right? Only then we can expect the pullback. At the moment, there isn't even any level broken, so the trend is still up. So we don't even need to assume a pullback has started. Cryptos are known to extend directly to the upside. So when the phase gets bullish or when the market gets bullish, and you're not positioned already, right? Maybe because you entered in a larger box with at least a small position, then you will feel FOMO at some point. So I always try to teach people how to avoid FOMO, which would be to have let's say a core position, because with a core position, you will never feel FOMO. You're already positioned, right? And then when there is a setup on the smaller time frame, you can scale up. But obviously that setup is never guaranteed. So we stay in the present, and I show you the support levels, yeah, but I also show you the levels that need to be reached to have a setup. But the setup isn't there at this point, okay? So either way, what I want to say is that in the red B wave, we could form a top at any point. In the A wave, I'd like to get another 4-5 pattern, and that wave 4 pullback should start very, very soon. Maybe it's already started. As I said in yesterday's update, we're ready for a pullback now. Let's take a look at the shorter time frame. And here on the shorter time frame, this is the rally from the April low. And also here we have a 3-wave move up, right? So we have a wave 1, we have a wave 2. We have a wave 3, and that 4th wave pullback is imminent, and then a wave 5 should happen as well. It might be not as deep, that pullback, so I will adjust the support area once we get some confirmation that a top has formed. For now, it's entirely possible that pullback has started, because as I explained in yesterday's update, wave 5 here, of C, so just in the detailed wave count, there's a C wave rally in wave 3 that started on the 20th of April. That C wave is already a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It did what we wanted it to do. And, as a bonus, maybe we get another high. That seemed a little more likely yesterday. Now with that sell-off, it's not a strong sell-off. And I said to you, hold on, didn't want to do that. And I said to you, as long as we're holding above the red line, we could watch for one more high, but the deeper it gets, the more probable it is that maybe a top has already formed. I'm talking about maybe one more high, but really only on the nano level. So this is not anything I would rely on, okay? This last swing high there. But yeah, once we get a break below 92,900, if it's a decisive break, it might mean that the larger 4th wave has already started, okay? So for now, I don't see a clear setup for higher prices. I don't have another support area added or anything. I'm just saying we've reached all upside targets, right? 95,440 was what I mentioned this week. And now it's about stepping back in the nearest key level, if you still want to focus on higher, could be this one. But it's now weekend. So I don't expect wild movements on the weekend. Sometimes it happens when the market is very bullish, but from a probabilities point of view, it is rare that we get wild movements on the weekend. So maybe expect rather some consolidation until Sunday when we get closer to the weekly candle close. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and X. You'll find the link in the description. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.